We know things have been pretty crazy this year with NIO and all things related to EVs and, everything from the chip shortage all the way over to the coronavirus, all the way up to China tensions with the U.S. It's just not been good for a lot of the Chinese EVs and some here in the States as well. But we do have some good news coming along, and that is that the chip shortage seems to be over. There are some good words coming out of that, and we're also going to talk about that. But then we're also going to talk about Xpeng, again, killing it out here. We're going to talk about them releasing their P5 and the numbers that are coming along with that. But before we hop into any of that, we ask you to just hit that sub button. It's the best way to support the channel, and it keeps you guys up to date on all things stock market related news and even NIO news as well. But without further ado, man, let's give it some razzle dazzle and hop into it. So let's start the video off with the good news coming out with the Taiwan chip shortage program. They got some good news coming from there.
Yeah, so the semiconductor manufacturing giant Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, that's the actual name of the company, says that you can expect a sharp uptick in chip supply in the coming weeks. So I'm just going to call them TSMC, for short. They said in an earnings call that its chip production in the first 6 months of the year rose 30% over the same period last year, and the company will increase chip production by nearly 60% this year compared to last year. 60%, that's a lot. So they said the company expects the shortage of automotive chips for its customers to ease significantly. Words are hard, sorry. Starting this quarter, the CEO said. So, as you know, the chip shortage was, the latest round of things everyone was scared about. And then the whole, the big fire with the Japan factory that supplied the world with like almost a third of the chips, that had the fire, and they, just recently, I don't know, within the past month or so, they got back up to 100%. And then now this chip manufacturing company, they're increasing production by 60% over last year. So that's what they need with more EVs, becoming more of a thing. They're gonna need more chips. So obviously, I believe Intel as well is creating or looking into manufacturing more factories to manufacture more chips as well. So
right.
It's all good stuff that's going to help with the chip problems. And so William Lee said that May was kind of the peak for them. I know some other companies like Volkswagen and stuff are still kind of struggling with it, but it's pretty much the chip shortage is not completely over, but it's only going to get better from here. Pretty much. Right. Pretty much what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, and like you said, that they're going to increase production by 60% this year. Like they need to, because obviously there's still a lot of companies out there hurting for these chips. And it's not just the EV sector as well. It's everything from the, Microsoft with the Xboxes and PlayStation 5s and, you have all the electronics, and it's not just EVs, it's everything electronic.
Right. I've talked about it before. I bought a trolling motor for my boat, and it was an 8-week back order. But then the 8-week back order turned into 12 weeks because they were at like a 10-day standstill because they were waiting for the main board for the units. Like they couldn't get them. They were just sitting there. So literally anything with any kind of board in it is probably pretty much back ordered. So
right. So that's definitely good news coming out of that. Hopefully things start to kind of turn around for all these other auto manufacturers, and we kind of see a turn in this market, and that the first half was rough, and hopefully the second half of this year is better for all of them.
Hopefully this means now that, NIO can get to their 10,000 a month delivery goal. Would be fantastic.
Would be great. I'm hoping to see fantastic numbers this week, or not this month. I'm hoping to see anywhere between 93 and 9,500, and then maybe August is when we break past that 10,000. But
that's what I'm thinking.
It's going to be hopefully a good year for that. And speaking of good things, Xpeng, again, killing it in this game. We wanted to bring this to you guys because this is actually a pretty big deal. We're not just, we're heavily invested in NIO, but we also like to look at other companies, and Xpeng is one of them. So Xpeng says that they had over 5,000 pre-orders for their P5 within the first 7 hours after opening the pre-sale for that car. 7 hours.
That's
so
ridiculous.
I'm actually kind of excited to see what NIO does with the ET7 and what their numbers were like for pre-orders. But they said the price of this car is anywhere from $24,700 all the way up to $35,400, give or take, depending on whichever model you go for. And they said that the P series which the way they label their cars is similar to Neo. You got the P, the G, and the E series, and the P is their highest ranked. It's their highest intelligence model, and then the P and the E are, or the G and the E are like the lower class of that. But they said that the P series has a range from 340 miles all the way up to 372 miles, and the G and E series have a range from 285 up to 340. So
yeah, and that's we've talked about that before. Like that is really, really darn good for a car that's, you know, in the 20s,
at that price,
the 20s of thousands.
Yeah.
That's yeah, that's really good.
And they, you know, they just did a facelift on their SUV
G3i.
model, the G3i. They just did a facelift on that, so it looks a little bit better now. And that range on that is really good for the price of the car, and that's still in the 20,000 range as well.
Yeah.
So expect good things coming out of Xpeng for that. We may end up starting to reach into Xpeng as well when it comes to their earnings and their deliveries as well, to kind of show the comparison between Neo, Li, and Xpeng.
Yeah, and I believe they also said the P, I think it's the P, is the highest trim.
Yes.
They said that's the first, like, you know, mass produced car with LiDAR on it as well.
Yep,
and that's
exactly.
that's a huge deal. So yeah.
Well,
And for having LiDAR, that's, you know, 35,000 for that model. Like that's that's crazy. That's really good.
Exactly. Yep, that's all, and that's all, you know, right here. So the fact that the P series is the one equipped with the LiDAR equipment. They said that the G and the E series are not equipped with LiDAR, so obviously that's where you're going to get your exchange for the money of the price of the cars. But they did say that 70% of those that pre-ordered got the one with, they opted for the LiDAR equipment. So that's going to be a little bit higher on the price range. But again,
I mean, you think about it, even the price of that car, $35,000 for that range, even without LiDAR, is still a heck of a deal. You know?
Right. Like, I mean, look at the price of all these other EVs out there right now. I mean, they're just outrageously expensive. So
exactly.
I think this is a good thing for Xpeng, just kicking right into the mass market with these cheaper prices, and I think they're going to deliver on them. And that's a good sign. That's what you want. And so then they said that the numbers again, we just talked about this, represent the model themselves, you know, with the difference in the models, and the number, you know, so you got the P and then you got the 5 represents the range of the car. So that's kind of a similar naming convention as what Neo does as well. So yeah, but anyways, so they said that Xpeng also offers their customers benefits, including free lifetime charging and priority delivery. So there was a report of them cutting back on the lifetime charging, going from 3,000 kilowatts per year all the way down to 1,000 kilowatt per hour per year, or whatever it was. So they're definitely cutting back on that, but still, the fact that you're getting free charging, at least that amount, I'm not quite sure what's that equivalent to. As far, I don't know how much it costs to go charge a Tesla at like a charging station. But, you know, if you're getting free charging, like, who's gonna? Yeah, you're still gonna take it. So I think Xpeng is just doing everything right now. They're doing everything correct, and it's just, I think they're on their way to killing it this quarter. I think they're gonna have a lot of deliveries this quarter, especially with 5,000 pre-orders in 7 hours.
Right.
That is outrageous. That is outrageous. So we'll see what happens when it comes to earnings and their deliveries for this month for Xpeng. We're gonna probably take both Neo and Xpeng and kind of compare the two when it comes to that time, to kind of give you guys an updated information on it, because I know there's a lot of people in our comments and in our Discord that are still interested in all the other things other than Neo. So shocker. Right. That is a thing. You can be invested in other things than Neo. So we'll kind of compare those two and show you guys, you know, what's going on and find out what's really going on. So. But that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. We hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like, share, notification bell, all that good stuff. It really helps support the channel. Also, links in the description for everything down there. We got the Patreon. We got the link down there for the Discord. That gets you into the Discord. Got the link down there for, what do we got down there? The Weeble. And then we got Stock Dudes merchandise. So again, if you guys are interested in any of that, it's all down below. And that's really going to wrap it up. So we'll see you guys in the next video.